Welcome. What is my conflict style and how is it affecting my relationship? Part 2. In part 1 of this video lesson, I went through the 5 most common conflict styles to help you identify which conflict style you most identify with. In part 2, I'm going to explain what you can do if you find yourself adopting one of these conflict styles. Please note that most of these examples can be used to help you move through more than one conflict style. Number 1, criticism. You will always have complaints about your partner, and that's okay. That's normal. The key here is to recognize the difference between complaint and criticism. A complaint refers to a situation that you're angry about, while criticism, by contrast, is a negative comment about your partner's character. Complaints are fine, but criticism is harmful. So instead of saying, "You're always so forgetful, you're an idiot," say to your partner, "I'm angry that you forgot to tidy the house." This takes ownership of your emotional response without making digs at your partner. Number 2, blame. First of all, remember, there is no such thing as a perfect parent. We all make mistakes, and it's important to make room for each other to make mistakes. Blame avoids taking responsibility and also means that you don't have to be vulnerable. When you feel the urge to blame your partner, identify the vulnerability underneath the blame and express it to your partner. You can be angry about something that your partner's done, but the anger is yours. And if you need a moment to calm down or soothe before having a conversation with your partner, say that you're feeling angry and that you need a moment. Similar to criticism, own your emotional response by saying, "I get so frustrated when we are late for things," rather than making your lateness your partner's fault. Number 3, sarcasm. If you are prone to sarcasm and cynicism when you're triggered, understand that underneath is a vulnerability that is not being expressed. Instead of expressing and taking responsibility for what's going on, you are trying to put your partner down to compensate for the discomfort you feel. The best thing you can do is to be aware of your sarcasm as a defense mechanism and try to identify the need underneath. Pausing before responding can be useful in helping you become conscious during communication instead of just reacting to the feeling. Try and express what you really feel underneath. For example, "When you don't help me with the baby, I feel so unsupported and unloved," instead of layering your feelings with cutting remarks. When your emotions are feeling less heightened, always make sure you make amends for any hurt you cause. Number 4, defensiveness. Defensiveness doesn't just occur when your partner is criticizing you. It happens when you're criticizing yourself. So defensiveness serves to protect you from underlying feelings of inferiority. The best thing to do is to observe the situations that usually trigger your defenses so you're better prepared next time. For example, if you're aware that you usually get defensive when your partner is asking something from you, then take a moment to breathe before responding. If your partner is attacking or criticizing you, express the discomfort you feel and invite them to speak to you in a more loving way. Number 5, withdrawal. The key here is to lovingly disengage. When you feel flooded and are unable to participate in the conversation any longer, do your best to communicate that you've noticed yourself shut down and that you need some space. People who withdraw usually just need a bit of time to process their emotions before they can see clearly and feel able to respond in a healthy way. Remember, it's painful for your partner when you shut them out, so try and communicate what you're experiencing and tell them that you need some time to process. It may be hours or even days before you're out of the woods, so to speak. So try to reassure your partner during this time that you're momentarily separating yourself for both you and them and will be able to connect again soon. It's easy to point the finger at your partner's conflict style without taking responsibility for your own. Really feel into what reaction you choose to adopt and ask yourself, what is this reaction protecting me from? Vulnerability is the key to connection and intimacy during conflict. When you're feeling particularly triggered, try to access the vulnerability underneath and express it to your partner. Sharing and being witness to each other's vulnerable hearts is the key to intimacy. Remember, we are human beings with very normal reactions to stress and fear. But it's better to admit that we make mistakes and then make peace with them rather than deny them, hide them, and make war with our partners. So, to recap, recognize the difference between a complaint and criticism. You can express your anger about something your partner did without criticizing them. Identify the vulnerability underneath the blame and express it to your partner. If you're feeling particularly angry, let your partner know that you need a timeout and take some time to calm down before responding to avoid saying something hurtful. Tell your partner you need time to process what you're feeling and that you'll connect when you feel ready.